Welcome, welcome, welcome to everybody stopping by for this live tarot demonstration. My name is Amista Bennett, and I do tarot readings and I do medium readings and I do Reiki, as you can see from the Reiki table behind me. And I do all of that stuff either in person or long distance as well. And so I just thought I would pop on and do a few tarot readings for people who show up here in this live stream. It was a completely unannounced live stream, and so we'll see who actually makes it in the door. But I am going to start off with my favorite tarot spread to begin with, and that is what is our best manifestation advice for today? So, whether you're walking in the door and it's live, or whether you find this recording later, be thinking as I'm shuffling because spirit is not limited by time or space. So be thinking as I'm shuffling, what is it that you would like to manifest today? What would you like to manifest today? What would you like to have more of in your life? What would you like to have some of in your life? All right, so let's take a peek at what spirit gives us for advice around this. All right. So we're starting off with a Seven of Wands showing up for our first card for best manifestation advice for today, followed by a Page of Pentacles. Welcome to who's ever here. I hope this benefits you. Followed, oh, it's Gracie. Hello, hello. All right, and then we have the Wheel card showing up in reverse. So we have actually some very specific advice here. That Seven of Wands, first of all, that tells us that we need to set some boundaries. That's our first idea that shows up in our best manifestation advice. Well, what do we need to set some boundaries for? We need to set some boundaries about Page of Pentacles, good news about money or about material goods. So we have to set some boundaries in our own minds. What is actually good news about money or material goods? We need to really kind of think through what would be good news about money or material goods, and what is just news about money or material goods? Because there is a difference. If there's something neutral that helps us keep treading water, that's not so much good news, it's neutral news. If there's something that's not such good news that, we're actually like losing, then we have to figure out, oh, wait, that's news, but it's not good news. We need to get some more good news coming in about money or about material goods. Boo-ba-doo-doo-doo. Thank you for that thumbs up. I'm assuming you hit a thumbs up, although it says I've got a big goose egg here. Let's see. And our last card talks about the wheel in reverse. Now, for me, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, because I don't so much believe in luck. A lot of people try to call this like the lucky card or the fortunate card. I don't believe so much in luck or fortune. I believe a lot more that we create the reality that we live in. And so, with this Wheel card coming up in reverse, for me, this isn't saying that bad luck. What it's saying is it's time to do some behind the scenes work to create that good news about money or material goods that actually meets our standards for good news about money or material goods. So the behind the scenes work is getting ready for those opportunities as they come in. Thank you for that thumbs up, by the way. Getting ready for those opportunities as they come in, making room for them in our lives, and being prepared that when an opportunity shows up, we know what to do with it. All right. So, first of all, we're looking at what is good news about money or material goods. What is the news that we would like to have to be able to move forward? And then we're doing what it takes to be ready for those opportunities when they show up for us so that we can move forward. So that's our best manifestation advice for today. Gracie, Gracie, glad to see you here. I think you're the only one in the room. Would you like me to pull a few cards for you, honey bunny? Hello to whoever just walked in. We're just getting ready to do some tarot reading here. We've done a little. We're getting ready to do some for the people in the room. Gracie, would you like me to do a message from Spirit, or do you have a question for me today? Right on point on the manifestation. I appreciate you saying that. Yay, yay. I'm hoping a lot of people will get some good out of that message. It's designed for the masses. All right. So, do you have a question for me today, honey bunny, or do you want a message from spirit? Whoever else is in here, if you want to say hi, that would be greatly appreciated. Comments are always helpful, especially on these lives. And if you don't mind sharing this out to other people as well, that helps to be seen by more people. Message from Sacred Spirit. Okay. All right. Let's take a peek, Miss Gracie. Gracie, Gracie. What would you like to talk to Grace about today? All right. First two cards are going to be your situation. I don't set the topic. This is going to be past, present, or future. You'll recognize where it is in time. Future usually is not too far away. I would like to say within 2 weeks, but usually people come back and tell me within 2 days, sometimes even within 20 minutes. So fairly soon. Hmm. I just realized I forgot to light my candle before we got started. I like to have an extra candle lit to ask Spirit to make sure I do a good job for y'all. There we go. Much better. All right, Gracie, let's see what we have. For you, what is showing up is the Knight of Swords, which the Knight of Swords talks about communication. Sometimes it talks about learning. It talks about thoughts and words. Okay. And knights are action. So we're taking some kind of action involving thoughts or words. This can be learning, this can be teaching, or this can be having a conversation, communication, debate, even. It's covered by, look at this, it's covered by the Sun card in reverse. Well, the Sun card in reverse talks about this idea of having a situation where you're doing what feels good to you, what feels productive and satisfying, but you're not doing it by yourself when the card is in reverse. You're sharing this experience with somebody else. Okay. So, with this being what is covering our Knight of Swords, that means that this conversation or this debate that feels very productive to you, this action that has to do with thoughts or words that feels very productive with to you is going on between you and somebody else. So this would talk to me about some kind of conversation or debate, or possibly if you were collaborating with somebody else on the idea of getting some kind of word out to people, promotion out, or if somebody was helping you with a resume, would be something like that. But I think in this case, we're probably looking at more of a conversation than anything else, possibly a debate. If it's a debate, it feels like it's more friendly, just because there's this idea that you're both enjoying that time together that you're having. Okay. So that's what Spirit wants to talk to you about. Like I said, you'll know if it's past, present, or future just by whether you recognize it or not. And so let's look at best advice or heads up around this situation. And you can tell I've got the cards in front of me, but I don't really think about them that much until I'm ready to hold them up and talk to you. So, first card that we have as advice is going to be the Devil card. So, this tells me a little bit about what that conversation or debate is about. It's about something that's toxic. So, a lot of things can be toxic. That can be the usual things that we think of: addictions. Sometimes it's procrastination. Sometimes it's debt. If somebody's in a lot of debt, I've seen the devil card come up, because the devil card really talks about what are we afraid of? The only power the devil ever has over us is to cause us to fear. And when we're operating in fear, we're not making very good choices. And so that's how the devil likes to manipulate us and run us, is by bringing fear upon us. So there's a conversation that has to do with something toxic that you're afraid of, whether it's debt or an addiction or whatever. Okay. Now, the Eight of Pentacles is the next card in our advice or heads up. The Eight of Pentacles talks about working on something, doing the work, learning a new skill, or working something out, maybe even with somebody in a relationship, okay? Or working out a problem. Maybe the problem is at work. but this talks about work or working something out. So, this conversation that we're having, our best advice or heads up, has to do with this idea of fear having to do with work or learning a new skill or working things out. Okay. Now, next for our best advice or heads up, we've got our Two of Cups coming up in reverse. Two of Cups coming up in reverse tells me that we're talking about some kind of situation that initially you were attracted to and that kind of almost like sucked you in. It had this charisma that more or less sucked you in. And now you could kind of take or leave the situation, actually. Like this is no longer seeming so appealing to you. Okay. So when we have our situation that we're having a conversation with somebody else about something, and this conversation is one that makes us feel good, satisfied, like we're accomplishing something, and our advice or heads up is that whatever this something is something that causes fear for us that we want to work on or work out, but we're no longer really attracted to this anymore. This is telling me, Gracie, that you have a situation that you've put a lot of energy and effort into, but you're no longer interested in really working it out anymore. And so this is a time to have a conversation with somebody and say, I'm not so sure I want to put energy and effort into that. There's something toxic going on here. It's creating a situation that is not good. Not so sure I want to work that out. And that's where I see that conversation or debate being all about. Hello there, best version. Welcome, welcome. Glad to see you, my friend. All right. Does that make sense for you, Granny? Miss Granny G from G Town. Okay, after Granny, we're going to do another personal reading. Since we've got three people in the room, I'm going to pick a number between 1 and 6. Whoever gets that number in the chat in front of my face first that I pick is going to be the next person that I read for. I just put that number down and circled it. So whoever gets that in front of the chat first will be the person. I am doing fantastic, my dear. I'm glad you're here. Wowzers. Living situation. Awesome. 3 is not it, but thank you for guessing, Christopher. You guys, you get to guess until somebody wins. And I would try tuning in. If you feel like you can tap in at all, try tuning in. Best version. 5 is not it. So 3 and 5 is not it, but it is a number between 1 and 6. 4, Christopher, you are the winner. Do you have a question for me today, Christopher, or do you want a message from Spirit? Christopher, Christopher. I don't know that I've ever seen you in my room before, so welcome. Glad you're here. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to catch some more videos like this. I can understand that, Gran. Not being able to cook there would make it very hard to want to stay. Curious if Spirit wants you to know anything. Oh, Spirit's always looking to talk to us. Let's see what Spirit wants to say to you. So this is one of my favorite spreads to do. It's really one that when we just come to Spirit and we're very open to hear what Spirit has to say. All right. And so when I talk about Spirit, what you need to know about me is I'm talking about something that I call sacred Spirit. Church people would call that Holy Spirit. That's who I talk to for my messages. And we use the tarot cards as part of my language. So, what would Spirit like to talk to Christopher about today? All right. Well, we've got some interesting things going on here, Christopher. First of all, you got the Ace of Wands coming up in reverse. And the Ace of Wands tells me that you have some kind of idea about something that needs to be done, but it's not an idea that exactly makes you enthusiastic or want to jump up and down. It's not a happiness making idea. In fact, it's not very creative. It may even be kind of a tedious thing that needs to be done that you're realizing or that maybe somebody is saying to you. But anyway, you have this idea something needs to happen that's not exactly exciting. All right. Hello there, KG. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. Just stick around. You'll see how messages work here, honey bunny. All right, so crossing your Ace of Wands in reverse, Christopher, you have the Three of Cups. Okay. So when we have the Three of Cups, this talks about friendship and spending time with friends. So we've got a situation here. We've got an Ace of Wands in reverse that has to do with friendship, which means you have some kind of idea about something that you need to do with a friend or for a friend that you're not really thrilled that you have to do this. Okay. It's not exciting. It may even be a little bit tedious, but apparently they could use your help. Otherwise, you wouldn't be thinking, oh, this is something I need to do. All right. So we're going to keep on going and see what your best advice or heads up around this is. By the way, this can be past, present, or future. I'm not sure if I said that already. You'll recognize where it is in time. I talk like it's present because the cards are in front of me right now. I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking, KG. Jack, hello, hello. Glad to see you're here. All right, let's see. Best advice or heads up for you, Mr. Christopher, and then after that, we'll do a reading for somebody else. But right now, also, because those of you who are here, keep your eye out for piggyback messages. You may get a message off of this too. So, Christopher, you have a Page of Cups, followed by the Queen of Cups. Beautiful cards right together, along with a Four of Pentacles in reverse. All right, so here's the thing. A Page of Cups can be one of two things. This can be a little one who happens to have a lot of water sign type attributes, or, and I feel like this is really what it is, this is somebody letting you know how much they appreciate you, how important you are to them. Okay. So we already see the motivation. This would be a friend saying, you're really important. I really need your help with this. And you do this so well. So you may not be thrilled about the idea. It may seem tedious to you, but they're telling you, hey, I really need you. And you do such a great job of this, blah, blah, blah. They're being really nice to you. They're buttering you up. Now, this friend is also someone who probably has done things for you before, just they were different than what you're thinking you need to do for them. With my Queen of Cups, this is somebody who is very empathic, very intuitive, very sensitive. She understands other people's feelings. She's really great at being an emotional support. She's really great at coming to for advice, especially about relationships, whether it's romantic relationships or family relationships. This person is generous in their help in that way. They may or may not have a lot of money or resources, but they can certainly help you with understanding what makes other people tick when that's what you need. Okay. Don't forget to put a thumbs up on this and subscribe if you're getting anything out of this video. All right. So, last card here, my Four of Pentacles showing up in reverse. This really shows me that this person, or maybe even these people, showing their appreciation and their need for you and for your help is what really motivates you. And we see you not even, you're not half-assing whatever this is that you're doing that may feel tedious to you. You're really pouring out your energy and your effort into this. You may even be spending money on this. I don't know if that's for sure or not, but definitely your energy and effort is getting poured out on this, because I just kind of feel like, how could you turn down somebody who asks you in such an appreciative, kind way? So that's what I see there for you. I hope that makes sense for you. Christopher. That was for Christopher. Let's see. How many people do we have in the room? We have 3 people in the room. I am going to pick a number between 1 and 6. And whoever puts that number in the chat in front of me first is going to be the next person I read for. And I have it written down right now. Did it make sense for you, honey? Number between 1 and 6. If you want to message, number between 1 and 6. 5 is not it. 3 is not it. Keep on guessing until somebody wins it, guys. KG got it with 2. Okay, KG. KG, if you don't mind giving me your first name, I like to have first names whenever I'm tapping in. That's very helpful for me. Helpful for you too if you want an accurate message, actually, I should say. I enjoy doing them. I love interacting with people and I love reading. By the way, guys, I do offer private readings. I offer 1 or 2 question readings. If you want, you can go to my website and check that out. I think that should be somewhere in the description here or in my about information on this channel. And then I also do live readings where we meet on video and just depends how much time you want, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour. Boo-da-doo, canoe. Okay. All right. Thank you. I hope I'm saying that right. Canoe. All right. Do you have a question for me, Kanu, or do you want a message from Spirit like we just did for Christopher? You're a female. Thank you for that. Boo-ba-da-doo. Thank you, best version. Oh, it just dawned on me who you are, best version. I've never seen you in here under that name before. Boo-ba-da-doo. Best version hated the first reading I gave her because I told her what she didn't want to hear. How long did it take you to come back? A year or two? Because I was accurate after all. Okay, KG. All right. So, as I explained earlier, and you may not have been in the room, KG, I don't so much work with angels. I kind of consider them middlemen. Whenever I'm working with spirit, I'm working with sacred spirit, which church people would call the Holy Spirit. So I'm working with source energy to get my information. Boo, 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 boo. Oh, I don't think it was 3 months. Was it really? I thought it was at least a year. Time flies when you're having fun. All right, let's see here. We have a question. Let me focus on the question. Where did the question go? I can't find the question. You can't be taking the question away for somebody who is a reader that has ADHD like me. I think we're looking at love life for the next 2 weeks for KG, though. I think that's what we have. Okay, so for Kanu, what's coming up in the love life in the next 2 weeks? And if this is not an accurate question, then that's on you for pulling it out, baby girl. Let's see what comes up. Ooh. Oh, I see why you're asking me because you got some questions yourself. Hmm. Hmm, 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 hmm. You've got a situation, Kanye, that you don't quite know what to do. I'm going to tell you what shows up, but this is what is in the energy that is what you are going to do because that's kind of what we're looking at. But if you want to know what is best for you to do, you do have free will. You can do something different if that's the best thing to do. And we can always do a reading to see what's the best decision to make here. Okay. So, what we've got on the table is how the energy sits right now. You have free will. You can change that if you want to. But here's what I'm seeing at this moment if you don't change anything. We start off over the next 2 weeks with the Eight of Swords in reverse. Now, Eight of Swords in reverse for me is a release or a breakaway. So, if you are already with somebody right now, this is breaking away from them. This is a breakup, if you want to say breakup. If you're not with somebody, because I don't know your context right now, if you're not with somebody, this means I'm thinking and rethinking something about my love life, maybe about a person who's a potential in my love life, or maybe my love life in general. But we're thinking in circles. Well, when this card comes up in reverse, we're going to be done thinking in circles. We're going to be breaking out of that prison that has us thinking in circles. Okay. All right, releasing fears. That makes sense. That would definitely apply to this, especially because where do fears come from? Fears come from worry. Where do worries come from? They come from thinking in circles and not taking action. So that would make a whole lot of sense here. Now, That's what we see for the next 2 or 3 days. We have a Queen of Wands coming up here. She's coming up in reverse. Now, normally when our Queen of Wands comes in right side up, she's very independent, self-sufficient. This is my entrepreneurial spirit type person. Like she doesn't rely on anybody else for her own money, but also she doesn't rely on, she doesn't rely on a guy. If she's going to have a guy in her life, it's going to be not because she needs to, but because she wants to, because she certainly doesn't need them. Okay. But we've got you in reverse, which says, I'm really feeling down in the dumps. Maybe I do need a guy. Really missing having a guy in my life or missing a particular guy. This is the opposite of independent, okay? This might be independent and not feeling very cool about it. That's pretty much what I'm picking up there. All right. Now, about a week out, we have a Three of Pentacles coming up here. Three of Pentacles to me talks about some kind of collaboration. This is going out on a date, meeting for coffee. It can be a little bit bigger than that, but Three of Pentacles is we're not talking full blown partnership. We're not even talking necessarily attraction. It could be there, it doesn't have to be, but collaborating with somebody having to do with your love life. Okay. So probably like a coffee date or a first date, that type of thing. Now, middle of next week, counting today as the first day of the first week, we have the Ace of Wands coming up. Ace of Wands says, whoa, it's just that somebody that is hotter than a fresh French fry out of the fryer, baby. Okay, this is the chemistry. So we definitely see some chemistry kicking in about the middle of next week. Here's the thing. Patience is going to be a virtue that really gets tried because the person we're seeing behind that chemistry is a Knight of Pentacles. Okay. So a Knight of Pentacles is somebody who moves slow. They make sure that that foundation is set well. This is not going to be somebody who's going to be all about, just a hit 'em and go type of thing. This is going to be somebody who's setting up the foundation for the real deal. And if you don't want the real deal, you're not going to live through them setting up the foundation. You're not going to last that long because they're going to take their time. Okay. So you've got some contrasting factors here because you've got all this excitement, all this heat. Woof. And then you've got Mr. Slow Mo right here that you're participating in this heat with. So I think that that's going to be slowed down. This person has some flame retardant going on here. It's going to be a while before you get into exploring the bedroom with this person. They may move forward in getting to know you. They're going to move forward slowly, steadily. They're not going to be acting like that flame, just going through whatever it comes into contact with. All right. So that's what we have, Kanu. I hope that makes sense for you. So that takes you through the next 2 weeks of love life. All right. Anybody else here that wants a reading? Looks like we've got 5 in the room. I'm going to pick a number between 1 and 10 and circle it. Whoever picks that number that I just circled and excuse me, puts it in the chat, you'll be the next person I read for. Sorry about that. Jackie, 8 is not it. You're quite welcome. 1 is not it, best version. 6 is also not it. 7 is not it. Boop ba da doo doo. Boop boo. Everybody else, be on the lookout for a piggyback reading if I don't call your number. Let's see. 7 is not it. 9 is not it. 2 is not it. 9 is still not it. Boop ba da doo doo. Boop ba da doo doo. 3 is not it. 4 is not it. Number between 1 and 10. Ba ba da da. 5 is it. Best version. Do you have a question for me today, best version? Or do you want a message from Spirit? Best version. And I am going to use your first name because I know it and that helps me connect. Boo-ba-da-doo. All right, let's see the question. Thank you, thank you. Everybody share this video so that other people can see it, please. The more, the merrier. Thank you, Gracie. I appreciate that message too. We always like the thumbs ups as well. Boop-a-da-doo. Boop-a-da-doo. This is a long, complicated question. I can already tell because it's taken so long to get in here. My question is, how is this situation going to go about this friend who is trying to help me get a job through his contact? All right, well, let's bottom line this. Will Avni end up with a job that she is happy about through her friend and this contact? Through her friend is trying to help her and this contact. Buttercup, I love your name. Welcome, welcome. Boo-ba-da-doo. So there should be a share button underneath my picture. You would click on that and then you share to Facebook or YouTube or wherever, LinkedIn, wherever you share stuff, wherever you like to be. Boop-a-da-doo. Right now, Buttercup, it's best versions question time. We'll see if I have time for another one after that. Everybody else be on the lookout for a piggyback message. That means if you start to hear something that resonates for you and somebody else is reading, make good use of that. Don't let it go to waste. But if it doesn't fit, don't stretch it out, scrunch it up, throw it in the dryer, or run over it to try to make it fit. All right. Boop-a-da-doo-doo. Okay, so this is interesting. I'm not so sure that this person is going to be able to help you with this job. I've got some contradictory stuff going on here. So let's take a peek. We're going to walk through it. First of all, we start with the tower. So this is actually quite the big shakeup. If this would happen, taking this job would be quite the big shakeup for you. We have a Four of Cups. This talks about, not being very satisfied with something, really kind of being in pity party mode because what you've got is not so hot, but missing out on another opportunity that actually is good, not disappointing. Okay. So this kind of tells me that right now there's a situation where if this person does come through, you're going to kind of feel obligated to take that position. But at the same time, there may be another opportunity coming through for you. I would say there is that actually is better than this one that your friend can get you. Interesting, isn't it? Now, yeah, I may change what I said. It looks like this friend can come up with this other job, is what it looks like to me. We've got the Chariot. That would be considered a yes card, although the Tower card, I'm not sure you would consider that a yes. But the Chariot card basically says, yes, that this could be something that could happen. Definitely. This talks a little bit about your friend. This talks about a King of Pentacles. So this is somebody who's very solid, stable, sturdy, very secure, basically. Okay. It doesn't have to be a man. Of course, it can be, but it doesn't have to be. And then we have my death card in reverse, which really talks about no change. No change. So it looks to me like there's something around this situation that even though this person can bring through this job for you, with the death card in reverse, there's no change in your relationship, whatever that is, whether that's true friendship or whether that's more. I don't feel like if you were worried that they might try to like pull your strings or something, I don't feel like they're trying to pull your strings here. I feel like they're trying to um that nothing really changes in the relationship once they find this job for you. It's interesting because I do feel like you feel obligated to go with this job once it shows up, but I don't feel this person is giving you this idea that, "Oh, you owe me because I found you this job." I do wanna look at what happens if you take a better opportunity that comes along even after this person has put out the energy and effort to get you a job. I think that if you decide you wanna go with a different opportunity instead, I don't think your other person takes it very well at all. That's why you're feeling obligated to go with it if it shows up. And in fact, there may even be a time where there's not really that much talking. This would create some definite friction in that relationship between you and that other person. Well, if it's the first that you've received in 7 months now, I would say that there's probably another one coming in very shortly. All right, so 2 people in the room, I'm gonna pick a number between 1 and 4. Whoever picks the number that I am writing down and circling right now, that's gonna be the next person I read from, 4, number between 1 and 4. 3, Jackie, you got it straight off the bat. I wanna say Jackie, is that really your name? Jackum. What is really your first name, Jackie? Oh, I still share stuff all the time. Maybe it's just because 'cause I'm live right now and you're having trouble with it. By the way, guys, if you're getting something out of this, don't forget to put a thumbs up. Also, if you know how to share the video, then please share the video. It is Jackie. Okay. I'm just gonna use the name you go by. I'm assuming the name you go by is actually Jackie. Excellent. Please share this video then, best version. That would be much appreciated. Boo-ba-doo-doo-doo. And then Jackie, do you have a question for me today, honey bunny, or do you want a message from spirit? Thank you for the extra thumbs up. Whoever did that, I appreciate that. Boo ba da doo doo, boo ba da doo. Heather, hey, hey. Oh my gosh, hi. I remember. I think I still follow you on Instagram. Glad you're here. How have you been? Question is interviewing for a new job, wanting to know if more interviews or a job offer will be coming within the next 2 weeks. Please and thank you. You're so polite. I don't always hear the polite here online. Okay, let's see. Jackie, how will this job interview go? What will be the outcome of this job interview, at least over the next 2 weeks? Thank you. Okay, peace out, best version. Oh, wow. That's a nice little vacation. Woohoo. Did you grow up in Illinois? I grew up in Missouri. Are you another Midwest girl? Okay, what's coming out of this job interview? Boop, ba-da-doo-doo. By the way, guys, I do also do 1 or 2 question readings that are recorded. If you're interested, you can find those on my website. And I do live readings, either 30 minutes, 45, or 1 hour, depending on how much time you need with me. All that information is on my website as well as my contact info. Boop-a-doo. Oh, wow, that's a culture shock. Midwest to LA. Okay. Boop-a-doo. Colorado is kind of the happy medium ish. Okay, so Jackie, what's coming out of this interview? You're really interesting how you're showing up here, Jackie. It's almost like the sense that I get when I look at these cards is that what you really want from this interview is you just want to know something right now, even if it's not, from them, not just from me, but from them. You just want to know something right now, even if it's not the best news, you just want to know. And even if it's not the best news, you wanna know because you wanna put this behind you one way or the other. If this works out, I think you would be happy, but if it doesn't, you just wanna know that, "Man, I need to be applying, 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 getting out there." So, my first card up is Temperance in reverse. That's my impatience card. Alright? So that's where I'm getting a lot of this from, but we have other things that are showing up that are telling me the same thing. Yeah, I'm not a Midwest person either. Midwest does not support this type of living. The humidity is awful. All right, so second card here, Miss Jackie, Queen of Swords in reverse. This is what tells me you just want to be done with this. My Queen of Swords in reverse says, man, I'm really impatient just to cut this off. I just want to know one way or the other what's going on here, even if it's bad news. I want it behind me. Okay. That's the 2 cards where I'm getting that. All right. So we have some interesting cards coming up here. When I see these guys, the first thing that I see about these guys, not about you, but about them, is that these guys are really frustrated because they're having a hard time finding somebody to fit this position that's actually qualified and that they feel like is a good candidate for it. Okay. Now, here's the thing with the Wheel of Fortune. I think you're qualified. You're a good candidate. I think that they're almost worried that you're too good to be true because they've been having a really hard time filling this position. So I don't know if they've had people that they've hired in here before and then realized that those people can't do it, or if they're just having a very long, hard initial search. But either way, you look like you can fill it, but there's still this frustration is still on the table. They're not sure. They're not sure, even though you're appearing perfect because you are. Here's the thing. We've got them showing up thinking in circles. So we put a time frame on this within the next 2 weeks. I don't actually have them having a result within 2 weeks. They are thinking in circles. Maybe because they're thinking in circles, they might call you in for another interview during this time frame. Although I can't say I see that on the board. I see them still just thinking in circles. They haven't made a decision by the time 2 weeks goes by. I don't think you're going to be able to cut these people out of the realm of possibility as fast as you would like to. I will tell you, when I clarify this idea that they're thinking in circles, I ask where they end up. Where they end up is my 10 of swords, which is interesting because it's an ending to the thinking in circles. But for me, the 10 of swords is not always a permanent ending because sometimes this card will come back up in reverse and it'll be like, it ain't over, baby. You thought it was, it's not. So when I see this, I think they're bringing this whole debate to an ending, but that ending, they're not really prepared to work things out, to get somebody in there who's actually going to do the work. So I really get the sense that they're going to kind of take a break from thinking about it. They may decide we don't really need to fill this position right now. Let's see what else we can do besides putting one person in there. Maybe we can get like three people that are already here to cover these responsibilities. And I think you're going to end up hearing from them later. That's not coming up in the cards because we only asked about during the next 2 weeks. I think you're going to end up hearing from them later. I don't really get the impression you're going to be waiting around as long as they want to take. You show up as being a perfect fit, but I don't think they get it. There's something not connecting there. Let's see. Okay, Buttercup, ask your question, honey bunny. And then Buttercup's reading is going to be the last reading I do here on this today. If you guys want to get me to read for you, you can get a one question reading for $30. I'll read two questions for you for $53, I think it is. And those are recorded readings. Or if you want a live reading, I do 30 minutes for $100, 45 minutes for $150, or an hour for $200. If you think I do good in these little things, I will knock your socks off in a private reading. You're quite welcome, Jackie. Next action of R. What's R's first name, first of all? And secondly, I'm going to need some context. Are we talking like, is this a romantic interest? Is this a friend? Is this a family situation? Is this a work situation? Give me some context so I'm not like, so I'm looking at these cards in the right light to be able to tell you something that would make sense for you. Rish, probably Rish. Okay. All right. All right. What can Buttercup? What's your name? I didn't even ask your name. Boop ba da doo 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 doo. Let's see what we have. By the way, thank you everybody for the thumbs ups and thank you for sharing this video out to the world. Radha. Rish and Radha. Okay. What should Radha expect as Rish's next action toward her? What will be Rish's next action towards Radha, please? Well, you guys have a fine thing going on here. Woo! How long have you guys been doing the revolving door thing in this relationship? Is this the first time around with this, or is this a cycle with you? Is basically what I'm asking. Hmm. Well, I think he's scared to tell his feelings because he doesn't know what his feelings actually are. That's your situation here. He really doesn't know how he feels. We start off with the Two of Swords, which says confusion, trying to make a decision, don't know what decision to make. Don't feel like I have enough information. Don't trust my intuition. Don't know what decision to make here. Okay. 9 of Cups in reverse says that he misses you. That doesn't take away from his confusion, though. Okay. So, confusion, he misses you. We've got the 9 of Swords coming up in reverse. This says that he's gonna start relaxing because right now he's kind of uptight because he doesn't know what to decide. He misses you, but he doesn't know what to decide. He's not sure if he misses you as a friend or if he misses you as more than that, or if he wants you to be more than that. And so with that 9 of Swords, we see him relaxing a little bit, cutting loose of some of that uptightness. Okay. I would say definitely the cards are seeing that for sure. Now, this is what's crazy. This is where things get really crazy. All right. We have the Magician showing up. After he relaxes, we have the Magician showing up. This talks about manifesting something that he wants in his life. Okay. And we're talking about, you know, what you should expect from him. This is also a super high chemistry card. Okay. This can talk about some sizzling time between the sheets whenever I see this Magician come up. So it could be once he relaxes and he's like, you know what, I don't have to make this decision right now of what I really want. Then we have some sizzling time between the sheets showing up, or at least some strong chemistry, heavy duty makeout session, something. At the very least, a heavy duty makeout session. All right. And then 8 of Cups. Then he leaves. Then he goes away. All right. So I'm going to call him a tease. Feel like he's a tease. Or at least he's acting like one there. Now, I want to ask one more question because that's not a very satisfying ending. I wanted to know if he was going to be coming back. Like, is he just leaving because he has to go to work? Or is he leaving? I don't see him coming back for anything romantic after that. If he comes back at all, I think he comes back and he says, we're good friends and we get along really well, but that's all I really want to be. Well, I kind of figured you probably weren't just with that confusion card and the idea that he misses you. That kind of told me that. You know, if you guys were talking, he wouldn't be missing you. But we still have him kind of relaxing things. I think he definitely tries something with the chemistry. The chemistry is heavy duty. And then we see him walking away again. And then it's a done deal. That feels like a done deal to me. I want to look at best advice for you, Rada. Like in a regular reading, if you came to me for a private reading, I wouldn't just leave it there. I would look at what's your best advice on interacting with him going forward. That's a walk away. That's a walk away card. It's walking away because we asked what to expect towards you. So he's walking away from you. Best advice for Rada regarding Rish. Oh, gotcha, Gran. That's wild. Love you too, honey. Thank you for putting out the effort trying to figure that out. Okay, so best advice. I've got two cards that talk about disappointment showing up in your advice. So I'd say the first thing is kind of to accept the idea that, yes, there is a disappointment. This second card that talks about disappointment says there's something better on offer, actually. There is another opportunity as far as romantic interest that's around that you're not seeing because you're so focused on Riche. All right. Now, this card in the middle actually says that as well. Ace of Pentacles talks about a new opportunity. The ace is always something new, and an ace of Pentacles is an opportunity or a gift, but generally it's an opportunity when we're looking at this kind of context. Okay. So we see disappointment, and the Five of Cups is kind of accepting that disappointment. Ace of Pentacles showing up. There's a new opportunity on offer. Four of Cups, the temptation is going to be for you to soak up that disappointment and roll around in it for a while to where you don't even see this other opportunity that's coming in. So don't do that. Don't do that. Now, the other bit of advice that we have coming up here is our Seven of Pentacles, which talks about a payday. Okay. And our Four of Wands. So when we've got a payday and the Four of Wands, Seven of Pentacles and the Four of Wands, this basically says where we start to feel like somebody is paying us back for the emotion, the energy, the effort that we're pouring into them is at home. That Four of Wands is my home card. So this says take your energy and effort and pour it into the people who are in your home or your family, and they will return that energy and effort back to you. But this is a disappointment here. New opportunity may have to do with somebody in the home or the family. All right. But that's your advice. It's interesting. Your advice didn't come up to cut him off or, to tell him off. Came up just shift your attention, process this disappointment first, but shift your attention then towards home and family. Okay. All right. So that's the last reading I'm going to do for tonight. Thank you guys, everybody, for being here. Thank you for your thumbs up if you benefited from this. And thank you for sharing this video out to the world. The more people I get to impact, the happier I am. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Everyone have a fantastic evening. Peace out.